Spring is here and I'm obsessed with items in these 10 categories. I just spit. If you're looking for inspiration for something new to try, please stay tuned and let's get started. Number one is what I'm loving. I do not have toddlers or babies, but I do have really smart dogs. Dogs who can actually open up the pantry door and get out the chocolate chips and eat an entire bag at night. So I had to find a solution to keep them out of the pantry. What I found are these very simple yet ingenious and effective door ties from Amazon that I believe are for babies, but they just tighten up and slide up, and the dogs cannot open them, and they don't look terrible because they're not big pieces of plastic, and they're very easy to remove, and they just function, they work, and they solve a huge problem for me. Loving them. Number two, what I'm listening to. Connor Price. I am obsessed with Connor Price. So I am a Young Gravy fan, and Spotify often will make suggestions for similar artists. And I started listening to Connor Price, and it's pretty much my go-to Connor Price radio when I go to the gym. And here is one of my favorite songs. I woke up sexy again. Category three, what am I laying on my body? Which is just a weird way for me to be alliterative. It's not like I'm laying something on my body. It's Kendra Scott heart necklace. My boyfriend gave this to me actually last Valentine's Day in 2023, but it's the perfect length, and because it's that kind of clear center, it just goes with everything. I find myself wearing it maybe 75% of the time. My number four obsession, what am I learning? I'm super interested in AI. And the last time I went to upload YouTube content, it asked if any of the content I was uploading contained pieces that were artificially generated and represented people or places doing things or that didn't actually exist. I thought, wow, we've come to that. It's pretty fascinating to me what AI can do, what the implications are, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can how to use ChatGPT, how to use Opus, how to use some of these tools that are available. If there's a tool that you're using that you've had success with, I would love to hear about it. What am I looking at? Okay, I just finished the best book ever, Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. We read it for our book group. It follows the childhood and young adult life of a young man who is growing up in Appalachia with every hardship you can imagine, from a poverty and just not having privilege in his life. And it's heartbreaking and heart-wrenching to hear the stories of what he goes through and to understand that this is reality for so many people living in the United States, and yet told with such warmth and whimsy and endearing qualities that you can't help but fall in love with and root for this character. This may be one of the best books I've ever written. It did win the Pulitzer Prize. I completely agree with that award. This may be one of my top 10 favorite books ever. It's an investment of time. It's over 500 pages. It did take me a minute to finish it. Totally worth it. What am I looking at? Part B. So this would be a movie or TV show. So I just watched Green Book for the first time. Now, this is an older movie. It's a handful of years old. It did win Best Picture. I think it was 2021. I'll have to fact check that. But I hadn't seen it before. So I watched it on an airplane on my way across country. And this movie was fantastic. It tracks two individuals that come together, both having stereotypes about the person that they were with for different reasons. And it was so refreshing and it was so enlightening. And yet it took place in the Deep South in the late 60s when, of course, racism was rampant and they were trying to break down some of those barriers. It was so well done and so deserving of that Best Picture award. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and watch it. I loved it. Number six, what am I licking? Okay, so this would be, I'm a foodie. I think that's just gonna have to work its way into this channel somehow because I think about food a lot. I plan food, I make food. I'm thinking about food right now, but what am I licking right now and enjoying? I tried for the first time in my life char-broiled oysters. Have you had these before? Now, I've been to New Orleans I don't know, half a dozen times at least. And I'd never had charbroiled oysters before. We were out one night, someone said, you've got to try these. It's what they're known for. We were at a restaurant called Drago's, and I'm obsessed. So I think we were there for 5 days. I think I had oysters charbroiled maybe 7 times.
We've had oysters every day since we've been here.
So, and then one night I started breaking out in a rash. I thought, am I getting this from the oysters? I didn't care. I kept eating the oysters. So how are charbroiled oysters different from regular oysters? Well, a regular oyster would be raw and kind of like eating phlegm. But, and I don't mind them, but I'm not going to have 3 or 4. Like if someone's getting oysters, I will do 1, right? I'm not going to do a whole bunch of them. But the charbroiled oysters, I was like, pass me a few more of those. They're cooked and with the consistency of like cooked chicken. And then the way they prepare them, it's like got Parmesan and garlic, and I don't even know, it was so good. I'm talking way too much about oysters, but just go try them. My number 7 obsession. What am I laughing at? Okay, this dog, Sunny Emilio. And I don't know if the dog's name is Sunny Emilio or if that's the owner's name, but it's this dog who is in Amsterdam, and it's a larger French bulldog who just talks and talks and talks and like and it's hilarious. I love this account. They seem to be such a great couple, and they seem to be laughing at the dog as much as the rest of us. So go follow them. They're hilarious. The dog is hilarious. Again, I'm not sure if the dog is named Sunny or if that's their name, but go check them out. Number 8, what am I loathing? This is where like I get to share what I don't like about something. My L that I'm obsessed with that I wish was different. So I have TSA pre-check, which allows you to not have to take your liquids out of your bag and take off your shoes in most airports. What I've noticed is in many airports, the TSA line is sometimes longer than the regular line. I also do have Clear, which does the eye recognition to get you through, and then you're supposed to go to the front of that TSA line. But the last couple times I've traveled, the TSA line and the Clear lines have been maybe about the same. And then sometimes with Clear, there's an extra validation process where they want you to get your ID out, and you don't always have to do it. So maybe you're trying to find your ID. Anyway, sometimes Clear takes longer than TSA, and sometimes Clear takes longer than TSA and the regular line. So that's my little, like, I'm loathing this. Don't even get me started with people that haven't traveled in a while. I do think we should be segregated into 2 different lines. 1 is if you've traveled in the last 6 months, and 2 is if you haven't traveled in the last 6 months. Because if you haven't traveled in the last 6 months, you don't know to pour your water out, you don't know about your liquids, you don't know how to take your shoes off, you don't know how to do anything. Just let me go with the frequent travelers, please. Number 9, this is something I'm looking for. So if any of you have a solution for me, I would love to hear your ideas on this, but I would love a message aggregator. So what I'm looking for is across the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, all of those. I want an app that's one app that I go into and all my DMs are in there. Is that too much to ask for? Can someone invent that? Wouldn't that be valuable? Okay, but I can't find it. If you know of one, let me know. And number 10, this is what I am looking forward to. And I look forward to this every year, all the time, but it's the longer days and the warmer weather. I would prefer warmer weather over colder weather, and I love when it's light outside after dinner. You can walk the dogs after dinner, you can sit outside. I am so looking forward to that. I was so excited about daylight savings time and having the extra time at the end of the day. I know. And those are my spring obsessions. What are you obsessed with? If you're new to my channel, I am turning 50 this year. I'm doing some travel videos, vlog style, and I'm trying out new things. I'm doing a monthly challenge every month and doing some shopping hauls. I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining me in the journey. Thank you so much for staying to the end. Check out this video and go pet a dog. Who? Bruce Wayne. Batman. Don't got superpowers, but I'm rich though. Hella flamboyant with flamingo. Go ahead and Google it. Leave him 20 singles. Get a hit, that's why I swing.